Okay, dear viewers, today I'm going to show you how to cut corset without the cup. So the first thing that you need to do is to get the measurement, which is the half length, under bust, the bust, the nipple to nipple, end to end, which is nipple to nipple, then the shape. So for example, let's say that the half length is 17, then the under bust is 14, then the bust is, let's say, bust 36, then the nipple to nipple is 7, then the shape is 32. So let's draft this on our pattern paper. So the first thing that you need to do is for you to input the basic body. Everybody know basic body. So we said our half length was started from here. Start from here. This is your starting point. Assuming our fabric is holding 2, the first thing is for us to get our starting point. This is our starting point. This is our starting point here. That is our first line. The next thing, we input our under bust, which is the 14. Then our half length, which is the 17, based on the style. So you make sure that you root this line out this way. So here is our half length. Here is our under bust. Then the next thing is for us to get our bust point. Our bust point for 14 now, the bust point is 11 or 10.5, whichever way. The bust point between 11 or 10.5. Let's assume we are using what? 11, right? Then the next thing is for us to get our upper bust. How do you get your upper bust? You, from the under bust to the bust point, here's our bust point. Then from your bust point now, to get your upper bust, you measure from the under bust to the bust point. Do you understand? Then we're having 3.5 here. Do you understand? You take that same 3.5 here. This is your bust point. You arrive at this line. So you have already get this. This is what your upper bust. If you start as what your chest line too, you can put it as what chest line. Then the next thing that you need to do now is for you to take your shoulder measurement. With your shoulder measurement, let's say now we are having 15 as our shoulder measurement plus half inches. So then from there you take what? Your armhole measurement. Your armhole measurement, let's say that we are using 8 as the armhole measurement. So we'll have this as our armhole measurement. Then this, whatever you have from here, you take it here too. This serve as what? Our armhole measurement, right? Then you are not going in detail on how you curve the armhole first. Let's say that you are putting yoke here. Here now serve as what? Your yoke. This is the place that either you use a net or any other material for it. So from this place now, from this particular place now, which is this center front where the eye of bust point is, you take half inches on it. That half inches affects it to the what, to the half length, which is like this. You take half inches like this. Do you understand? Then from there, you now measure what we said for the bust point. So for the nipple to nipple that time was what, 7, right? 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Do you understand? This is 3.5 here. From this place here, you have what, your 3.5 here. Your 3.5 now affect the half length too. It also affect the what, the upper part here, right? Then you are having what, a straight line. This is your ball, having your nipple to nipple. From here to here now serve as what, your nipple to nipple. So the next thing that you need to do now, from here you have 1 inches dart intake, right? This is 1 inches here. That 1 inches now also affect, from your half length you take the half inches, from your under bust you take what, the half inches, sorry, the 1 inches, sorry. Then you have something like this. Can you see? Can you see the dart? Then on this your bust point now, right, where the nipple, this is where the nipple point should be. You go up by what, 1 inches, come down by what, 1 inches. Do you understand? In this bust point now, you come down by 1 inches, go up by what, 1 inches. Reason behind it is because what, if you take it directly to this point now, the bust will be too pointy. But mind you, before you do that, there's one simple method to get this curve at this front part out. How do you get that? It's for you to what, to measure what you have here. We are having 3.5, right? From here you take that 3.5 like this, like this, like this. Look at it here. You arrive at this. Can you see it? Can you see how we get this place? Then for the back side too, that 3.5 now, look at it here. Look at it here. Then look at it. Then we have another like this. Then if you have to take it cycle, you understand? Then you have something like this. Can you see it? You're having something like this. Then let's take it cycle. The same 3.5 that you are having, right? You get this cycle here. And depend on the kind of yoke and then the kind of neckline that you are having. You understand? So let's say that you are having sweetheart neckline now, in which it has to expose the breast, or if, let's say that okay, the person don't like it to expose the bust. So you have to what, take the neck measurement first. Look at the neck measurement. Let's say okay, we are using the wideness of the neck now is what, 3.5 by what, by 4. 3.5 by 4, which is round neck. Let's say we are having this type of neck, 3.5 by 4. Then on the shoulder level now, you come down by what, 1 inches. Then that's when you have this slant on your shoulder, slant, right? So let's say now okay, we don't want the cup now, the breast to expose. You don't want to expose the what, the chest line like that. So that's when you now determine what your yoke now, how you want the length to be. Let's say now we are using 6.5. This 6.5 now, we are making use of it. Then from here now, you get what, use your curve ruler, get any kind of what, any kind of neck you want. Let's say okay, we are using the 6.5 now. Then we have something like this, like, right? This now serves as what, our yoke out, right? So the next thing is for us to get our bust curve now out, and then the cup out now. Already you have this line now. This is one that you are going to make use of, not the... Once you arrive at this, The next thing is for you to also take the intake or the dart intake of this upper side, in which the same, you can take like, for this back side you take what, 1 inches. For the front part, which is for this front part, you take half inches, right? Then you have this here. So the next thing now, since we leave 1 inches from here, 1 inches from here that time, this is how you connect it now. Can you see it? Can you see it? This way it ends, right? Then this particular place now, this side, it also ends. Can you see it now? Then where it's always confusing, you can see that this place is going, and for bust, for breast, for this side here, for the armhole, armpit side, it's always fuller. For this armpit side, you add what, 1 inches to it for this side, or half inches, whichever. Do you understand? So the next thing now, this line now is not going this way again. That's how we work it. We add half inches to it instead of the 1 inches, right? Then we arrive at this. Look at your new line now. This your new line now. Do you know where it gets end? You take it up. This is how it goes up. Do you understand? So this your line now affects this. So what you need to do now, this your shoulder measurement now. This your shoulder measurement now. After you what, you detach your yoke now out of it. This your shoulder measurement now. It's whatever you lose here, we lose what, 1.5 here, right? We add the 1.5 here. Look at the 1.5 here. Look at it here now. Can you see it? Look at the 1.5 here. Like this. Then you get what, your armhole curve like this. You get your armhole. The measurement, our boss was, let's input our boss what measurement, all our measurements before we'll add it. Our main measurement for the main body bar. Our boss measurement was 36. 36 divided by 4, it gives us what, 9. Look at the 9 here for this your boss line. Then for the shape, 32 divided by 4, it gives us what, 8. This is what we are having as our what, as our measurement from the initial stage, right? So when you reach this stage now, when you reach this stage, so this is 36. When you reach this stage, the next thing now, all what you lose from here, you have to add it. Do you understand? We lose 2 inches here, right? We add the 2 inches here. This is 2 inches here. Then for this upper side now, we lose 1.5 inches that time. We will add the what, the 1.5 inches. That's what makes us to arrive at this, right? So our new armhole now will now be what? Can you see it now? This is our new armhole. Because by the time we join here together now, it corresponds with what? The yoke back. Then you now add what? Your allowance of what? 2 inches. Normal allowance 2 inches. This way. You add your 2 inches allowance. Do you understand? So while cutting it now, I think that's the question that you're asking. While cutting it now, the first thing that you need to do now is for you to detach what? This your yoke out. You will detach it out this way. You keep it aside. Then the next thing, you make sure that what you trace this your dart out first. Can you see it? You trace this your dart out first. Then you now carefully, here now become what, the front side now you can write front. Are you getting me? This is what, the back, right? You have to label it that way. Then you cut this place out like this. Can you see it? Then you have this. You can see it now. Then you trace what the rest of the body out. When tracing the rest of the body out, so you have already arrived at cutting what your, look at it now. This is it, right? So while tracing it on the body of, on the fabric now, this is your draft. So while tracing it on the clothes now, the first thing I need to do, this one will cut it single that time. Then this is how you trace it. Look at it here. You have to, this one now, this particular pattern now is for the finishing. So the next thing I need to do now, you add half inches to this. I think that's the question that you're asking. You add half inches to this, then half inches here. Can you see it? Like this. You have to add half inches to this. The same thing with this other part here. Where is it? Sorry, got that. So let me use the other side. Can you pause it? Okay, I come. While tracing this now, the first thing that you need to do is what? This your dark line now, you add half inches to it, like this, right? Then for this side now, the same thing, same half inches here. Can you see it? Add same half inches here. But here you don't add any inches to it. All way you are going to add half inches is this side, which is, you have something like this now. This place will still be equal. This is for your center. Then for the side now, you add the same half inches to this place. And this upper side too, you have to add the inches to it, because you are going to join the yoke up to it. This up here, you add half inches to it. So for the side, you don't need it. So you're through with this now. Then while cutting the cup now, this front side, the same thing. All here now, look at it. I think this is the question that you're asking. Here like this now, you add the half inches. All here, half inches. All here, half inches. Do you understand? So that's how you, all the half inches now is for the what? For the join. Then for the other side too, the same thing. Then when you are through, this is it now. For our body, we'll be having something like this. This is what we'll be having for our body. Can you see it now? My wife for our cup now. We'll be having something like this. Where is the one? And this one now is for this side. Do you understand? While this other one is for what? For this. Then you join them in the center. So I think that is all.